Hello everyone, this is Daniel. This is basically a video about what's going to be considered normal in the future. But let me go to a main point that will be considered normal in the future. So let's go to screen share, okay? All right, so it's going to be weird, okay? That's all I can say. Present to everyone. Let's hope it works. Let's see this, and this is going to be weird. All right, so what you're seeing here is not just the sun hitting the earth. That's not going to be normal in the future, of course, but this is a highway, and this is fiery ball. This is a highway. This is an explosion. This is what happened. I'm not going to show the whole entire video, but click out here. But this is what's going to happen. This is what happened. Let's click here, I guess. So as you can see, a truck crashed into another truck. So let's go further back. That's probably evidence right there. But you know, a truck moved right into a truck. And right here. And right here. A truck crashed into a truck. It's not just a truck. It's a tractor trailer that literally crashed into a another tractor trailer. Gas exploding. And another one. Basically, chemicals exploding, and another one. Basically, petrol or gas. Literally exploding out of beyond proportions, out of control. And here's what it looked. Oops. Here's what it looked like before. All that smoke, and it's getting out of control. Here's the gas all over the place, and then it's getting much worse. Then there's gas all over here. That's when the explosion happens, and this happens. Guess what happened there? A man was on a cell phone. A man was literally on a cell phone. And right here it has what it's all about. Just look at it if you want, but I'm gonna warn you, it's kind of disturbing, like I showed you. But it's gonna be twice as disturbing because you're seeing the whole thing in real life. But let me tell you something. I believe a cell phone or whatever electronic device he was on distracted him, and he crashed into the other truck. And that was just a cell phone. Let me tell you something. There's going to be something else that's going to be considered normal, considered absolute, and tragically, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. Basically, if we don't pray against it, it's going to happen. And this is what the future is going to be all about. Here's a point I'm going to make that you want to hear about. Ever hear about like driverless cars and what I call like artificial cars and driverless cars? Anything that's artificial is automatically gonna fail because we just create it with our human hands. What God creates almost never fails, except for some cases. Like, it's not rare either. Most of us that are created by God were created normal and good. Even I'm okay. But to some of us, like a higher percentage than you think, like I would say 25%, those people are not normal. They either have schizophrenia, autism, Down syndrome, or any of the other conditions. Sometimes it's physical, like you were born with a short leg, or I would say even you were born with a very short, small body, tall body. No one is, you know, No one is defined as like everyone else. That's not who we are. And God created us. He is perfect. And with an imperfect world, He would basically created us to, an extent. He can create everything perfect if he wanted to. And that's what he would like to do. But unfortunately, in an imperfect world, we're made from the clay, and basically, many of us are imperfect. Many of us have mental issues. Many people when they get old have Alzheimer's. They all break down. That's another thing. I love like the majority of people when they get really old, they get Alzheimer's, they get dementia, and all that. Parkinson's. They forget a lot. They have physical handicaps, like their legs don't work as they used to, and they can barely walk, and they cannot walk. They can only crawl. They can only go in a wheelchair. All that stuff, and some even can I even move. That's how bad it gets. And that's when they really break down because age breaks everything down. Think of it this way: there's a car that is artificial, made by our hands, and made by robot hands. Robots are made by our hands that make robots that make robots. Think about it. And then there's the fact that robots are worse than us, and then there's another robot that's worse than us making the cars. And the fact that the car is artificial, everything's going to become artificial in the future. And if you think that accident was scary, you think that accident was abnormal, or unusual or not normal, think again. A few years from now, or maybe more, we will see that all the time. The only thing you're going to see in the news about the artificial problems is that it's a problem. There's not going to be a single-handed car accident that's not going to be in the news. Matter of fact, all these pileups that you're seeing, you think that's not normal today. Yes, that's true, but that's going to be a normal problem in the future. Just about every other hour, there's going to be a pileup on the highway, and you're either in it or not. Half the car's going to be totaled within the month they bought it. And the artificial cars or driverless cars, they're going to be, there's going to be a lot of problems. So guess what? You think that's bad? Think about us in the further in the future that people are going to be made by not human hands, but people are going to change their sex. Of course, they already did that today. That's normal, but people are going to have emotions that are way out of control because they're being changed. Not their DNA, but their outlook on life is going to be changing because they have estrogen or testosterone. The men are going to be, violent, and the ladies with estrogen or the men with estrogen are going to literally, have meltdowns and cry a lot. It's just going to be like the men that have. Let me tell you something. It's going to be weird, but I don't want to offend you. But today, the men that get estrogen, they're going to be autistic girls with estrogen. And the ladies that get testosterone, they're literally going to be like autistic boys with testosterone. That's going to be a bad idea because that's how it's going to work. And then people will be able to become animals in the future. Guess what? You know what the animal's like. You don't know how the animals see the world literally. I just figured out that cats, they see a certain, like, they use heat sensors and very like okay, you think that we see simple colors? Cats can only see in like royal purple and like this yellowish greenish color. These cats can only see royal purple as in blue and a palish greenish color as in yellow. And they see everything by heat, a little bit of light. But let me tell you something. They can easily see in the night because of heat. If it's a hot day in the night, like it's always in Africa, the lions will actually see you quite easily. It'll be like daytime to that cat. To dog, it's not the same, but it's going to be like morning time. If you're wondering why I'm telling you this, if you're planning on turning into an animal, well, the surprise is everything's going to be a whole lot different. Your attitude, your emotions, everything's going to be a lot different. And that's the future, guys. The future on Animal Vision is going to be very bizarre on your part, not on their part. They're not going to understand how this happened either. You see, the witchcraft that we make is witchcraft because we don't know what it's going to do. It's a science experiment. And things that we experiment on, like driverless cars and surgeries, will end up causing people to act in a very strange way and automatically and also the robots to act in a very strange way. It's as if we didn't know that this would happen. It's because we don't know what we're doing. We don't know what we're doing at all. So if you ever hear about, driverless cars and we can change people into animals that we can never imagine, that's a lie. Because you don't know what you're doing. And even if you succeed, what about the other half that got really messed up vision and really messed up body just because of what you've done? And that's just the future. And then there's going to be the fact that this is going to be normal. There will be many plagues and many disasters, like stars falling from the sky, and many people being possessed by demons. Demons will torture you on Earth. Hell will break loose on Earth, so hell will be on Earth. And government will go against you. Hell will go against you. Family will go against you. Your friends will go against you. And religious leaders will go against you. You're on your own. Everyone's going against you. Like I said, you're on your own. Not only that, if you go with the mark of the beast, God's going against you, and you're doomed. So, how do we get out of this future problem? You cannot kill yourself, so that's out of the question. How do you get out of this problem of basically this judgment of the future? You can pray to God that you're not counted in this problem, because obviously the Bible was very clear on, well, not to some people, but to some of the other people, that if you are a true child of God, I mean, there's no pre-tribulation rapture. There's no mid-tribulation rapture. Excuse me. Instead, people are going to be raptured right at the end. It's not going to be not post, not mid, not pre, but it's going to be late tribulation rapture. It's going to be right at the end, but it's going to be not at the end. Not exactly at the end, but next to it. What do I mean? The thing that immediately happens after the rapture is not what we think it's going to happen, but instead, people are going to be left on the earth, and the few that made it to heaven, that got raptured, people will be slaughtered left and right. People will be slaughtered left and right, just because they either got the beast, a mark of the beast, or they did not believe in God, which is the mark of the beast. So let me tell you something. Life is not expected to get any better for the whole future. It's not. But your personal life can get better. So if you believe in old things, that's perfect. But remember, there's wear and tear. So I basically one thing I recommend you get is a I would say 2005 Chevrolet Malibu or something like that, because cars will fall apart and they are vain designs. But if that comes to the future, like 30 years later, you better take well care of that Chevrolet Malibu. And, because there's a lot of them out there, but Chevrolet Malibu, it'll do wonders with you. Anyway, and if the mark of the beast comes, you can get rid of it. But also, if we know what the mark of the beast is, it would be known that we can prevent it. But then, if you hear of the person that is if you ever hear of the person that is ruling the world, if you ever hear of the person that's going to rule the whole entire world as a pope or something like that, or something else, do not follow part of his plan. Do not ever go near that person, because if he rules the world, that means he will be part of the world and be literally next to the beast, which is Satan. And what's normal is that demons will enter the earth as humans and as beasts. And they will torture us no matter what. They'll torture us day and night. Not just because they hate us, but we're his followers. But they can't reach us if we're his followers. So they go to the worldly instead, because they just, that's all they can do is vent out their anger on someone else. And they've been told not to kill them. So, future is looking bleak. That's all I can say, okay? I'll be done now, okay? Bye.